everyone, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna take you along to my self-train day, and I would like to focus on spins. So let's get into it. I always like to get to the ring around 30 minutes before I step on the ice. Then I have time to warm up and get ready. And today the ring seemed pretty calm, but unfortunately you're gonna see that's gonna switch. I always start my warm-ups with various stretchings. I mostly do the same, which first of all is jogs and jumping. And then I do standing stretches where I pull my body towards the raised leg. I always try to keep my standing leg straight because it's the hardest part of my spiral. And then I do some side-to-side weight transfers. I particularly like this for my hips. I finished off with some deep squats, as well as swinging my arms in both directions and some waist twists. After warming up, I'm ready to put on my skates. Some people like to warm up with the skates on, but in my opinion, it is too cold to do that. My feet are freezing when I get in there, so I just like to warm up and then I can put on my skates. As you can see, I use a little tool to fasten my skates because I either have too cold fingers or I fear breaking any nail. We used it for years and I really recommend it if you want to make sure your skates are not loose. And then I always put my smartwatch on training mode. I have a special training mode for figure skating where it says all my calories and the heart rate. It's really useful. And then I'm ready to go to the ice. I always start my trainings with edges and footwork. I still have to work on this more than I actually do, so I try to at least do 10 minutes of it. It's a bit difficult on days like these where it's busy with schools. As you can see in my face, I'm not really happy about it. I do inside and outside edges, 3 turns, brackets, twizzles, anything that's gonna help improve my agility, control, and stability on the ice. I really feel focusing on this helps me with my jumps and my spins, although it's not the most fun part. But when I look back at the videos, I can totally tell. And in this particular day, my upper body was a bit out of control. I really enjoy the part where I do crossovers backwards and forward. I really like getting speed on the ice and just getting the wind in my face. And so far, I was pretty lucky getting my personal space on the ice given the busyness, but at that moment my luck was over, so I decided to make kind of a barrier and start doing my spins. I started with my scratch spins. On these I'm trying to center them because I can spin and I can put up my arms, but I tend to fly away every time I do them. When I felt confident about it, I switched to my favorite sit spin, which is a pancake spin. On this one, I'm working on getting my butt down, otherwise it can't count as a sit spin, of course. And once I get a 90-degree angle with my legs, I can focus on spinning more in the center as the scratch spin, but so far I'm just really trying to get down. After a while, I jumped into the spiral spin. I prepped doing some spirals, and as I mentioned before, I struggle with keeping my standing legs straight, so I was really focused on that rather than having a high spiral. To be honest, this might be the second or the third time I attempt this spin, so I know there's a lot of work to do here, and I realize now looking back at it that I should pull my body more towards the ice. I think I keep my back too high up, and that explains that I was getting lower back pain after some attempts. And I always try to finish all my spins, even if they're imperfect. I don't want to leave them halfway. After a while, I changed to layback spins, where I started to open my hips just on a normal spin, and then every time slightly pulling my body to the back. and try to get that layback effect. It's funny how it feels like I'm getting so much on my back while I'm doing it, and then I see on the video I'm not in my back at all. Very humbling. Anyway, I was really trying my best to get some good tries on that one before I jumped into the backspin, which is the spin I'm really focused on getting better at. So the way I do it, I start by standing on the same spot and I do the backspin there without any entry, just to focus on the outside edge. And then I start doing it with an entry. If you're a figure skater, you know that everyone struggles with backspin at some point. So I'm just really working hard to have it at least presentable. I don't want to be too strict. I don't want to be super fast or spinning a lot, but at least something. So far, I was pretty satisfied how the backspin was looking. I don't have any videos of how my backspin was before that day, but I was definitely seeing some improvements. And then the sweetest thing happened to me at the end of my training. This little girl just approached me and asked if I could do a spin for her, so I did, of course. And it was not the best at all, but she seemed pretty happy about it, so I was also happy. After I step out of the ice, I take off my skates, I stop the training in my smartwatch, and I always have my water and my tea. These two things cannot be missed. I need to be hydrated, and I also need something warm because I might be sweating, but it's still cold out there. Next thing is cleaning up my blades. I want to make sure that they're not wet at all, that there's no ice when I put them back on my back. So I use a microfiber towel and then I put on my soakers. And I also do my cooling down and my off ice exercises, but my phone ran out of battery, so I have to get used to being a blogger and bring a power bank or something. This is the end of my video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!